Hello, one-alls, Stone, chapter 199, Superalloys, and I've got to say, huge props to Boichi, huge props to Boichi. I mean, we asked him not to loot Suka, and he put her in a full suit of freaking armor, and still kept her looking so absolutely freaking adorable. I love it, I freaking love it. Though this does once again raise the question, what exactly is Suka's role going to be moving forward? I mean, she had a dagger and a shield last 2 chapters, so clearly she's been fighting, wild animals last 5 years and has gained some sort of fighting ability, but she also gained science ability. I mean, she referred to it as electricity zap, so her word needs a little bit of work, but Zeno is still impressed by how much science knowledge, by how much science understanding she's managed to gain just through reading Senku's notes, just by trial and error over the last 5 years. Combine that with her world-class exploration and scavenging skills, and she's basically a jack of all trades. She's like the queen in chess. She can fulfill any role. She can do anything. And I think that's to be incredibly important because moving forward, I don't think Senku's going to have access to his full team. Time is not on their side, and yet there's still so much they need to get done. They need to wake up everyone in Corn City, Ishigami Village, and Treasure Island, and then they need to found Aluminum City, Math City, and Rubber City. And I just don't think they can do that one at a time. I think they're going to need to split up. They're going to need to build a second Perseus 2.0, and divide the labors. Have some members of Senku's team go to one part of the world and have other members of Senku's team go to other parts of the world. And this really could give Chrome a chance to shine all on his own, a chance to found a city by himself without Senku's help, without Senku backing him up, and I'd absolutely freaking love to see that. And with everything that Suka's learned, she can be his assistant, helping him out every step of the way, giving him ideas, doing the parts of science Senku would normally help him with. I would freaking love to see that. I would freaking love to see that. But anyway, this chapter starts off with Zeno creating a Geiger counter, which he uses as a metal detector to find a whole bunch of ore. Nickel ore, chrome ore, pyrochlor ore, ilmenite ore, molybdenite ore. Yeah, that all sounds very, very made up. With Jen even saying it sounds like something you'd find in Monster Hunter, which, yeah, that sounds about right. But I should take a minute to talk about Jen for a second. I'm aware that I am saying his name wrong, and I've been saying it wrong for the last 100 or so videos. I am sorry about that. I only read the manga, and I just recently watched the anime, and I realized, people have been commenting about for a while, saying that's not how you pronounce his name, but it's Gen, like generator. How else do you pronounce it? I finally watched the dub version of the anime, and it's like, oh, it's pronounced Gen. Oh, and I really recently tried in the last couple of videos to say it correctly, and I just tripped up every single time, saying it wrong every time, or tripping over words, having to try and say it again and again and again, and after about 5 minutes, I just completely and utterly gave up, went back to calling him Jen like I always have. I'm sorry if that bothers anyone watching this, though I know at least 2 people don't seem to mind it, as they refer to my American-style pronunciation as endearing and cute, respectively, which I really don't know how to take that, but thank you, I think. I really do have the best fans, and I just so appreciate you all so much. But anyway, the next big metal they need is iron. They can't really find that in South America, so they have to get it off the Perseus, which, yeah, it's in bad shape. It's in really, really bad shape. I mean, this was definitely a large topic of discussion in the last couple chapters, trying to figure out exactly where the Perseus is, how it's doing, if it's still managing to, stay afloat after all these years. No, it did not. It sunk rather quickly and is in complete and utter tatters right now, which is, wow. I mean, I was expecting some damage. I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. I mean, yeah, it's just not salvageable whatsoever at all. But thankfully, they can still get the iron out of it and use that to build a newer ship, a new Perseus 2.0. Or maybe, like I said before, 2 Perseuses 2.0. That sounds like a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. 2 Perseuses 2.0, 2 Perseuses 2.0, 2 Perseus 2.0. Oh, that's actually really hard to say. But anyway, and I have all the metal, and they're going to start working on the newer ship they're all super excited for. Huzzah! And in order to build the new Perseus, they move to the Isla Martin Garcia. Though it seems like they leave Taiji and a few other people behind, by their original base, by the original Fort Medusa, in order to mine the minerals there. So, interesting. I'm kind of curious why they split up like this. I mean, I'm guessing it's because, the Perseus was docked at this island, but still, that seems weird to me. I'm not sure about that. And then Zeno gives a rather interesting speech about when you add chrome to a mixture, it endows it with new properties and abilities, and I think that's the entire purpose behind Chrome's name. I mean, everyone in Ishigami Village has a gemstone-ish name, or more or less. I mean, magma, he's explosive temperature. Kohaku, one of the definitions I read in lines, their name means Taigo gemstone, more or less. And, chrome, he is the mixture. When you add him into Senko's science, when you add him into Xeno's science, you get something new that neither of them would ever thought of before because they have the old world mindset. But Chrome, he doesn't have those same restrictions. When Chrome sees something, he looks at it with entirely fresh and new eyes because he doesn't know what's right. He doesn't know what's possible. He doesn't know what everyone would be assumed to be impossible. I mean, his idea was literally to cover a ship in Medusas to make it so that no one could see them. That's not something Xeno or Senko would have thought of in a million years because it's just so utterly ridiculous, but it worked. But speaking of modern day inventions, Senko once again brings light to something that's been lost for so many countless generations. Once again, it's brought into the light. Once again, he's revived something long thought dead. Canned food! Huzzah! I love it. I freaking love it. And because it's made of stainless steel, it'll never go bad, even after 3,700 years, which, wow, that's freaking amazing. If you're wondering why canned food today isn't made of stainless steel, it's because every single can would have cost about $10,000 to make. I love it. I absolutely love it. That is seriously just destroying every modern day convention imaginable. And while he's at it, he also makes some stainless steel knives, which Francois really appreciates, as she creates a full sushi boat. Oh, I love her. I freaking love her. And then back to Taiju, he's doing a whole bunch of mining, but it's too much work, even for him. Even for his infinite stamina, it is too much work. So he decides to wake up Maya and all Stanley's soldiers, which seems like a really, really bad idea. But he knows on board to tell them, hey, we're going to build a rocket to the moon where our true enemy is waiting for us. And, that's enough to convince them, all right, we're on your side. Plus, we're also trying to get Stanley revived down the road. So, yeah, we're going to go mining with this guy. And I absolutely just love the teamwork between Taiju and Maya, this fist pump they have together. Oh my god, if Taiju didn't already have Yuzu, I'd definitely be shipping these two together, but for now at least, I'm shipping Maya with Tsukasa because, he beat her in one punch, and I think she's gonna like a strong man. Oh, I would love that. I'd absolutely freaking love to see that. It's also worth knowing the vial of viral fluid Taiju has is labeled 75. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a very big number. I mean, I think Xeno was number 17. So they've woken up like 50 people since then. He has 50 people helping him work on this mine. So clearly quite a bit of time has passed and they have a rather large-scale operation up and running. Also, wasn't it said last chapter 4, that they can only make one bottle of viral fluid a day? I mean, if that's the case, we're looking at like 2-3 months' time before we've actually reached this point, which... that's quite a while. It's quite a while. I'm really curious exactly what the timeline is here, and I'm hoping at some point we get some sort of clarification, some sort of explanation on that. I mean, even if it's like a few months down the road, we get a guidebook that explains exactly when each event happened. I would just so appreciate that. I mean, just given this series, I'm sure the author knows the exact day, month, and year all this is happening on. And then we see Xeno create this monstrosity, which... honestly, it looks like a final boss from Mega Man game. I mean, seriously, this thing is terrifying, and it should look terrifying, given that it creates a toxin so fatal, it'll kill anyone it even so much as touches. So, oh, that's bad. That's really bad. As he declares he is the science user of darkness, while Senku is the science user of light. And this whole, light versus darkness, good versus evil thing, it feels way too, black and white. I think it better describe him as pragmatist versus idealistic. I mean, Senku had built this whole, super deadly machine, which they need to actually build. He put more safeguards around it, make sure no one got close to it, make sure everyone was wearing, thick padding and all that to make sure that they were safe and secure and protected. While Xeno, he can't take those same safety precautions. He needs to build this as quickly as possible because they are on a time limit. He needs to get this done as soon as possible. And if someone dies as a result of him cutting corners, well, he'll accept that. He will accept that inevitability, but Senku couldn't. Senku couldn't keep on living with himself. He found out that he got someone killed. If he got his friends and allies killed because he was rushing, because he didn't take the time to do things properly. And then we definitely get some sort of time skip as Superalloy City is basically up and running and everyone's celebrating and partying in a very carnival manner. Good for them. It's time to celebrate the New World Order. And I'm just rather curious exactly how much time has passed. I mean, is the Perseus 2.0 up and running now after, as much time has passed to build up a full city? Are they in the process of doing it? And what exactly is everyone going to go moving forward? I mean, like I said, it seems like he's going to stay behind to work with the alloys that are being mined from Superalloy City and build the engine. Taiju might stay behind. I'm not sure about Taiju. I mean, I really want him to reunite with Yuzu, but, he is a miner at his heart. That's a job that works perfectly for him. A job that's perfectly suited for him. So he might stay behind in, Superalloy City for a bit longer. And then when they go back to Corn City, Are the teams going to stay the same? Are some people that were on the Corn City Science team going to join Senku? Are some members of Senku's team going to join the Corn City team? I mean, I definitely feel like Joel's going to come along with Senku because they need him to build something in the New World Order or build new Medusas somehow, some way, and because, he wants to have a lot of long conversations with Katsuki about what it means to be a master craftsman. Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. And like I said a few chapters back, I am very interested in seeing how he interacts with Suka. I mean, he gets embarrassed super easily in front of girls, and she is so utterly adorable and cute, and oh, that'd be amazing. It'd be so freaking amazing to see. And from there, where exactly are they going to go? I'm honestly not sure. I mean, like I said, I do think they're going to split up. I mean, they might need to wait till they get back to Japan or split up simply because they need Ryu's, boating skills to get them across the freaking ocean. And once they get to Ichigami Village, once they get to Treasure Island, wake up everyone there, then they'll split up. Half the team going to New Zealand, Australia, while the other half goes to, I guess, Russia to form Math City. I mean, really, how would the teams divide up, though? That's something I'm most curious to see. I mean, I feel like Ryu would probably need to go to Australia because that's more open water, while the other team's more, guiding along the coastline, maybe. Chelsea, definitely feel like Chelsea would have to go to Australia because Australia is kind of, a hellscape, more or less. And I deeply apologize to anyone who lives in Australia, but it's, home to a lot of the world's most deadly snakes and spiders. And they'll probably need to go, into the desert areas of it in order to, find the minerals, find the aluminum they need. So, yeah, that's definitely going to require, an expert explorer, someone who knows about poisonous snakes and spiders along the way to help them out. I think Senku would probably go to New Zealand, Australia, while Chrome goes to Math City along with Suka and maybe Joel as well. I mean, they bring Joel along, and then Senku can bring Katsuki along. 2 master craftsmen, 2 separate teams. I do think it makes a certain amount of sense, but yeah, let me think all this down below. Do you think we're going to split up, and if so, who's going where? Which members going on which team? And do you think we're going to some sort of time skip moving forward? I mean, I said that in my last video, and I got a lot of flack from it by basically every single person in the comments. But you were all very kind about it, and I really appreciate it. It really was the kind of thing I thought last minute as I was making the video. I mean, next chapter is chapter 2 freaking 100. I feel like, we gotta do something big by then. And more than that, it just feels like I can't really imagine something that would be, bigger scale, bigger threat than Stanley and Zeno. I mean, that was a mad NASA scientist and a team of super soldiers hunting down Senku for the last 50, 60 chapters. That's a very big threat, and it's kind of hard to one-up that, so I was having trouble imagining, what they do in Australia, New Zealand, and Russia that would feel like a bigger threat, a bigger danger than that. I mean, there are definitely some possibilities, definitely some ideas I saw in the comments. I mean, the one I had was the Whyman's going to send an army of killer robots down from the moon. They're going to wake up Stanley to shoot at all of them. Oh, that'd be amazing. It's so absolutely freaking amazing to see. Another one is maybe there was another, city up and running that Senku accidentally petrified 7 years ago when he petrified the entire freaking planet. I mean, if so, they're probably going to be very mad at Senku, especially because they recognize his voice as being the voice of the Y-Man. I mean, that's a fact that's never really come up to this point or been relevant at all. I mean, I've assumed back, when Corn City first started that the reason why Stanley was shooting at Senku's team was because he heard Senku's voice over the radio, and he assumed that Senku was the mysterious Y-Man who was threatening them from the moon over and over again. So that's why he shot at him. That wasn't the case now, but maybe down the road? Maybe. I mean, I do definitely think next chapter could be a bit of a montage of them, going back to Corn City, waking everyone up, getting up and running, then going back to Japan, getting everyone up and running there, and then the team splitting up from that point. Chapter 100 was the first setting off the Perseus as they went to explore the new world to figure out what exactly was going on out there. So chapter 200 could be the same. With Perseus 2.0 A and B off on their own adventures, with Chrome leading one team, Senku leading the other, as they go off to basically cover the world to reawaken all of humanity from the ground up again and get the rocket built. I could definitely see that being the case, but let me know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe to the next video, and until then, peace!